What's up, everyone? Joe Bazraoui here, ready for another episode, Cup of Joe. Go ahead, please give this stream a like. Please subscribe. We're growing it every single day. It's fantastic. Really, really excited for this show. Hi, Johnny. What's up? What's up? Please go ahead also, please. Honestly, bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all your support. And I would really appreciate if you share this stream right now. We're trying to every week, break a record on our viewership. It's not much, but we're hoping to break records. We're hoping to grow, to spread the conservative voice, the conservative word to all people. All people need to understand what this country was founded upon, what this country stands for, the American idea. And there's a lot of people that don't seem to appreciate this, probably because they're not taught about it in schools. And back when I was in school, I was taught to hate America. I was taught that this country is founded upon racism, and it couldn't be further from the truth. But that topic can be another time. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into it. But first of all, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, everything. It's right here on the screen. It's hey Paps, what's up? And it's I'll be greatly appreciated if you can go ahead and do that. Also, I don't know if you can see it real quick. Here we go. Anti-Socialist Social Club, still in the store, still there. Go ahead, DM me on Instagram at Joe Bazraoui to get those details. Now, I would love to go ahead and jump right into it right now. And let's just talk about Student Action Summit. This past weekend at West Palm Beach, Florida. What an amazing time I had. I love what Turning Point stands for, what Turning Point USA does. It's an amazing organization. If you haven't heard of Turning Point, you're living under a rock, quite frankly. But it's a fantastic organization. Check it out, tpusa.com. But SAS, that lineup that they had. Ben Shapiro, you had Sean Hannity, you had Don Jr., and, of course, the big man, President Donald J. Trump was there. He had an amazing speech, sat through the whole thing, riled up the crowd like always. What an amazing time. I had a lot of fun, a lot of great friends. I met a lot of you guys as well, and I love talking to you people. You guys are amazing. You guys are the backbone of this movement. You're making strides every single day, and you don't even know it. Trust me, you're making a big difference, bigger difference than most people. So we really do appreciate that. Now in SAS, there was a couple things I really want to talk about. I get this question a lot. It's about this certain individual that has a certain grudge against Turning Point. I'm not going to tell you his name because he's not worth telling you his name. He's not worth the sort of publicity, but let's just I don't know. Let's call him Frog, right? So we're gonna call him a frog because for some reason he has an infatuation with frogs. So Mr. Frog was over at the event, and he has a reputation of disrupting events, or at least his followers do. And let's just say I ran into Mr. Frog and his followers. I was going to go to Starbucks to get some coffee, and I ran into him at an intersection, over in a median of an intersection over at West Palm. And I didn't realize it was him until I was crossing the street, to be honest. But I thought it was really interesting when, as soon as I started crossing the street, all of his followers turned around, got their cameras out, or their phones out, turned the camera on, and started recording me. Can't find this footage anywhere, but they were screaming at me. I don't even fully remember what they were saying to me, but asking about me debating them. Why am I not replying to their DMs on Twitter? Listen, I know a lot of his followers watch my stuff. A lot of his followers follow me on social media just to I don't know, annoy me. I'm not going to reply to your DM if I don't know you. I'm just being completely truthful here. If I don't know you or you're not of interest, I'm not going to reply to you. But that sort of behavior is what creates the sort of how do I put it? No one wants to talk to anyone that has that sort of behavior, that screaming and whining. Mr. Frog and his group, they use leftist tactics all the time by screaming and yelling and causing some sort of disruption and even threatening. I've received threats from these people online, on Instagram, on Twitter. They're using leftist tactics, disrupting, screaming, yelling, threatening. And it's all they care about. They just want attention. That's all they want. So I'm sure a lot of people in the chat know who I'm talking about. He's not a man that's not well known. And a lot of people have questions about him. And I'll be honest with you, he's better off, if you want him to disappear, which it'll take time, it's better off to just stop talking about him, to stop interacting with him or his frog people. Just leave him alone. Because all they want is attention. They don't want to make this country great. They don't want to keep this country great. All they care about is views and followers and all those things. They're spreading an insane message that's explicitly anti-American. It's against the American idea. It's against what America was founded on. And they claim that this is a white country. This is a white Christian country. Well, newsflash, this is not. This is not a white Christian country. And I'm not just saying that because I'm Jewish. I'm not just saying that because I'm Latino. I'm saying that because I know what this country is founded on. This country is founded on equal, inalienable rights for all people to come and to live freely. But Mr. Frog doesn't want that. He wants more government. He claims to be a quote-unquote traditional conservative or a paleo conservative, whatever. I don't even know anymore. Like these people, they have all these different names that they go by, different titles, whatever. He claims to be a conservative in general, right? Claims that I'm not conservative enough. But he wants more government. He wants government to be in your lives. He wants government to be involved in every single thing you do. He's explicitly against gay people. Who cares? Are they affecting your life? Are they affecting what you do? Now, religiously, homosexuality is wrong, right? In my religion, as a Jew. I know that goes for a lot of Christians as well. But I don't put my religious views onto others, right? We have the First Amendment, freedom to practice religion. And the way I interpret it as well is it's not only the freedom to practice religion, it's a freedom from religion. Congress can't make a law that's religiously motivated. They can't say that we're going to make homosexuality illegal simply because, well, God said so. They can't do that. It needs to be with logic and facts, and that's something that Mr. Frog doesn't have. He doesn't have logic and facts on his side. All he has is emotion on his side. He's an emotional human being, to be quite honest with you. And it's quite interesting to see. Now, I'll give him this. He has started quite the noise. And I think that my fellow conservatives here who know who I'm talking about, which I won't name who it is, but you might know exactly who I'm talking about. Take my advice. Don't engage. Don't engage. You don't have to. He'll start saying that you're against the First Amendment and stuff. He doesn't know anything. He knows jack about the First Amendment. He thinks that you have to have a discussion with him. You don't have to. He's being the hypocrite here by disrupting our events, by allowing his followers to act in, quite frankly, an immature behavior online and at events, and it's disgusting. And, all he is a provocateur. He really does nothing for the conservative movement whatsoever. And I think it's really important that we see that. And we see that it's a waste of our time to even acknowledge him. We don't have to. He'll make noise, he'll make more noise and all kind of BS, but you have to understand, the more attention you give this guy and his followers, the worse he'll get. So my interaction with this frogman, right, proved my point. He's explicitly anti-Semitic. He's explicitly racist. Now, he claims that he doesn't deny the Holocaust. And some people say, well, he kind of, but doesn't, whatever. My definition of denying the Holocaust is if you deny the death of one Jew in the Holocaust, you're denying the entire Holocaust itself. And he doesn't believe. He's a skeptic when it comes to the numbers as to how many Jews died. Newsflash, there were 6 million Jews that died. 1 million Poles. And tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people, such as those with disabilities, those that were gay, gypsies, and so forth, that were killed under Hitler. Not only in concentration camps, but in the streets and the ghettos and whatnot. And he denies the death of these people. And it's disgusting. We have to expose this sort of stuff without giving them attention. We have to show that we're right and they're wrong. Now, how do we do this? Exactly what I'm doing now. Keep posting the facts, but don't make it so involved with that person. Now, I don't know if he's listening now. I doubt it, but if you are, trust me, I know what you're doing. It's a good plan. I'll tell you that. It's a really good plan. But I'll tell you this. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling a lot of us. We know exactly what you're doing, man. And you really, really, you deserve a platform. I believe in the First Amendment, but at the same time, you're a hypocrite. So there's my tangent about that guy. I won't go any further. But anyways, let's go and talk about impeachment a little bit, and then we'll go into a Q&A, short Q&A. It's going to be it's going to be a shorter show today because tonight's, it's Hanukkah still. And by the way, I forgot to mention Merry Christmas to all my friends here, and I hope everyone has a Happy New Year as well. To my fellow Jews that are watching, Happy Hanukkah, Chag Sameach. Today is another night of Hanukkah, so I'm going to hop off here a little bit earlier so that I could go and celebrate Hanukkah. Now, let's talk about impeachment a little bit. We'll go into the Q&A, and maybe that'll spice things up a little bit, and we can talk about other things. But impeachment's really interesting. So I did have a show last week because I was at SAS, and it was really difficult with my schedule, so I apologize for that. But I know it's a little late talking about impeachment, but I think it's still a topic a lot of people are talking about. And one thing I noticed the day of the vote on impeachment, that the House voted on impeachment, I received a lot of phone calls, a lot of messages about it was either one of two things. Either it was a liberal or a leftist saying "ha" in your face, or it was a Republican conservative saying, "Oh my God, what are we going to do now?" So let's break down what actually happened, and maybe I'm old news right now, but I'll still do it. It's my show, whatever. But the House impeaches, right? So Trump is impeached. There's no doubt about that. He is impeached, but it's something that we need to learn about is he's not removed from office. And who removes the president from office? That is the Senate. It's clearly stated that is the Senate. And who owns the Senate right now? The Republicans. I mean, they're not going to impeach Trump whatsoever. They're not going to do anything. And actually, the funniest part about this is Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy, the Speaker of the House, Democrat, she isn't even sending the articles of impeachment to the Senate. She's not even sending it, which actually means that this impeachment's void. This impeachment's not even a thing yet. They just voted on it. It's not considered impeachment until it's sent to the Senate. So you have impeachment in the House. The Senate then conducts investigation, and that's conviction, and then removal from office is pretty much what happens in the Senate. But it's not going to happen. So we're actually fine. But what I think is really interesting is the charges for impeachment had nothing to do with any of the witnesses that we had, or I should say the Democrats had, that Shifty Schiff or Do Nothing Nadler had in their committees. And I think it's really interesting. You look at that. It's what was it? Obstruction of Congress and abuse of power. Nothing with collusion. Nothing with quid pro quo. Nothing with bribery or treason or Ukraine or Russia or whatever. Nothing whatsoever. Democrats completely noticed that they were losing this impeachment. They said, well, we're going to have a really low approval rating, which they already do if we just impeach him on Ukraine, because we don't have any evidence. Okay, well, what about Russia? Well, we have nothing on Russia either, so we got to think of something quick, you know? They thought that impeaching the president would actually bring up their polling numbers, when in reality, Congress is extremely low on the approval rating right now. A democratically controlled Congress, completely low, plummeting every single day in the approval rating. And now Democrats are trembling. They're trembling in fear, people. Absolutely they are, because they realize their approval rating is low. Trump's approval rating is high. Trump's polling for the election next year is very high. And Trump is actually winning against every single Democratic candidate in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Those are major swing states. And I was just in Florida recently for a couple weeks, and I noticed in Orlando, out of all places, Orlando, a big city, huge city, with Trump flags, Trump signs, MAGA hats, CAG hats, Republicans everywhere. And they have places like Miami where they have a huge Cuban population that they've escaped communism and socialism to come to America, and they're seeing Democrats, all these Democratic candidates, what they want to bring to the table, and they're saying, oh, well, that's what the dictator back in Cuba said. He promised free healthcare. He promised, no student debt, free college and stuff. This is a slippery slope. And then, he also promised that he'll make us safer with more gun regulation. Look how it turned out. The problem what we have here is it's the kids of those people that escaped communism and socialism. They're being indoctrinated in schools to like socialism, to hate America, to believe that America was founded under racism. That's the problem. A lot of those people are voting next year in 2020. And the biggest problem here is also, this is going to be the first election in a few years that boomers are going to be the minority here when it comes to voting, when it comes to age demographic. It's actually going to be, not millennials, sorry, Gen X, I believe it is. Gen X. Now, typically those people have Republican and conservative tendencies, but we have to understand that that's a big threat because a lot of boomers are conservative, naturally. Conservative, Republican. And how to get my Coke, sorry. And we have to understand here that although Trump is polling really high, we have to come back to 2016 where Trump was polling extremely low and still won. By a landslide, mind you. And we see that now all of a sudden Republicans are trusting the polls, yet back in 2016 we didn't trust them. So I still don't trust polling data, but it's still nice to see that Trump is winning pretty much this next election right now. If the election were today, I believe he'd win by a landslide. I don't think anything would beat Reagan, per se, Reagan's second election. But I believe that he's still going to win by a lot. Joe Biden right now is the number one candidate for the Democrats, kind of on a little bit tying, not so much with Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren. And it's those two candidates are probably the weakest candidates I've ever seen in my life. Weaker than Hillary, and it's quite sad. And Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win big. Believe me when I tell you, Trump's going to win big. But, this whole impeachment hoax and sham, it's disgusting. And I want you guys to remember, I'm originally from Pennsylvania, and I used to live in Pennsylvania District 7, which is the Lehigh Valley area, about an hour north of Philadelphia. And that area used to be really red. We had Charlie Dent was our congressman. Then we had an election last year where it changed to blue. But it's still a relatively red district. So that's actually, PA 7 is considered a swing district. There are about 18 really hard swing districts in America right now, I believe. Close to 20. That this impeachment, after this impeachment, are going to turn red next year. But the problem is this. We can't get lazy. And that's my biggest fear right now with this election, is that we're getting lazy. We're getting lazy because we're seeing polling data, because we're seeing, a lot of people are supporting Trump and whatnot. But we need to win over independent votes, right? No one's going to win without independent votes. So how do you get the independents to vote for Trump? Well, you have to show them the facts. You have to show them lowest black unemployment, lowest Latino unemployment. You have to show them record high stock market. Record high stock market. This is amazing. We have to show them what Democrats are made of. Show them the track record, right? You want to talk about, all right, for example, he's a weak candidate. He's definitely not going to win. He's probably going to drop out anytime soon. But Cory Booker, running for president, Democrat, former mayor of Newark. Has anyone been to Newark? Chat, have you been to Newark yet? Newark, New Jersey? It's disgusting. High crime, higher than the national average on crime. It's a disgusting city. I bet the people are great, but it's a disgusting city. There's litter, there's homelessness, there's drugs. They have a huge drug epidemic, and the crime is so high. The crime is extremely high. Well, let's go to other candidates. You have Joe Biden, that has done nothing since the beginning of his political career. He has done absolutely nothing. Trump's been in office for 3 years, and now he's blaming Trump for all the problems in America? Are you serious? Same thing with Bernie Sanders. Same thing with Elizabeth Warren. Every single one of these candidates that have been in politics, they've been in office longer than Trump. Longer than Trump. But they're blaming him for everything. Oh, no, but we can't talk about Obama's scandals. We can't really. No, he didn't do that. By the way, speaking of this case, where the hell is Hunter Biden? Where is he? Where the hell is Hunter Biden? And, by the way, what's going on with the Epstein case? I kind of want to know more about this. Let me know in the chat if you know anything else about the Epstein case or where the hell is Hunter. It's disgusting. We see how the media is manipulating us every single day. Every single day. I'll even go further back. What the hell is going on with the Las Vegas shooter? We still have no idea his motive, anything. We know nothing about him. So this is absolutely disgusting what we're seeing in the media every single day, right? The fake news media, they don't want you to know anything. They don't want you to question. It's propaganda. In North Korea, the government has these massive speakers in every town that every single day on the speakers, they're blasting communist, North Korean, pro-Kim Jong-un propaganda. In America, we do it voluntarily. That's the problem here. We do it voluntarily. We have people that watch CNN every single day. We have people that watch MSLSD every single day. And they believe it's the truth. They're feeding themselves this fake news propaganda. Fake news propaganda. We have to stand up against these people. We have to hold them accountable. That's what we got to do. Hold them accountable. Ask them, why aren't you reporting on Epstein anymore? Ask MSNBC, why are they refusing? In general, they had the story 3 years ago. 3 years ago, and they still refuse to talk about it. Thank you to Project Veritas for exposing that. Project Veritas, if you ever never heard of them, Project Veritas is a fantastic organization. Definitely check them out. It's shout out to James O'Keefe. Great work, man. But you have to understand, the media is lying to you every single day. The media is lying to you every single day. You turn on the TV, you look at CNN, and you see all the absolute BS going across your screen. Every single day, it's fake news, fake news, fake news. Same thing with MSLSD. And, we have to keep them accountable. I know I'm going on a tangent right now, but Trump's going to win next year. Trust me, believe me. But we can't get lazy. Knock doors. Knock doors. I know it's boring. I know it's long. It's stressful. It sucks. I did it, and I hated it. But we have to do it because that's the best way of getting votes. Make phone calls. You got to go ahead and go to your local GOP or your state GOP and volunteer for the Trump victory campaign. It is so worth it. This next election has nothing to do with Democrat, Republican anymore. It has to do with freedom versus tyranny. Freedom versus tyranny. Put that in your head right now. What does Elizabeth Warren want? She wants more of your tax dollars in your pocket. From your pocket. She wants to take more money from you. She wants to take away your Second Amendment rights. Same thing with Creepy Joe. All right? Creepy Joe, first off, he's just a creepy guy, I'm telling you. He's just a creepy guy. But they do not want you to have any more freedom. They want more power. They're power-hungry Dems. Power-hungry Dems. That's all they care about. And then you have Nancy Pelosi passing USMCA and taking credit for it. Something that Trump drafted over a year ago. And she's taking credit for it. Nancy, are you okay? You're a little drunk or something? You have to understand that was not your bill. That was Trump's bill. But I don't want to get too much off topic here, but I'm telling you right now, this whole impeachment sham, this hoax, it's helping us tremendously, people. Absolutely. It is helping us tremendously. All right, let's go into the Q&As. Let me get on my phone real quick. I don't want to be too rude here, but I'm going to go on my phone so I can see these. I want to check out these questions y'all got for me. If you have a question, go on my Instagram, and you'll see my Q&A. Just go ahead and type a question there. I'll be reading them, okay? First question, best debate/discussion to have. Great question, actually. And I think that the best ones that you can really get to someone's head isn't like the typical ones like, oh, well, let's talk about guns, or let's talk about healthcare, let's talk about education, whatever. I think the best discussion to have is more of a philosophical one, where it's talking about, your morals and values that you have. You're gonna get a lot. You're gonna get a lot through that. Is your name really Joe? I can't say, right? I can't say. I'm a Mossad agent. I can't tell you. I think it's hilarious. I get called a Mossad agent every single day now, thanks to the frog guy. Mossad agent. It's funny. Why are your suits so nice? Okay, this is a great question, actually. So I take my suits pretty damn seriously. So I'm a skinny dude. So finding suits for me can be kind of difficult sometimes. If you don't want to, break your bank or anything, break your wallet, whatever, you don't want to spend a lot of money, Express is pretty damn good. Also, Men's Warehouse has a lot of great deals running all the time. Probably right now after Christmas, after the holidays, they have a lot of good sales right now. So look for sales online. You'll find some good stuff. But I like Express, Men's Warehouse. I'm not really that big of a brand guy though. But for example, I bought 3 shirts for $100 at Men's Warehouse the other day. Ties were buy one get one. Socks were 3 for $30. You gotta be fiscally responsible, people. Fiscally responsible. But let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm still taking questions in here. Go to my Instagram, ask anything you like. Who's Joe? I don't know, man. Joe Mama? Is that the meme? Joe Mama? Hate those memes. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. If you have any questions in the chat, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll get to them right away. Put in the chat or go ahead and put it on the gram at Joe Bazraoui. Let's see here. I lost my place. Poppy John. I just kind of went on about that sort of idiocy earlier in the show. It's really nothing. They're just trying to get attention. If you want, you can rewind and check it out when the live stream is over. I can give you my experience on that. Go ahead and give me a call anytime, man. So, okay, I like this one. What got you into politics? What got me into politics? So, when I was a kid, my aunt was running for city council, and it was around the same time McCain was going against Obama. So, around 2007. Yeah, 2007 about, 2006, 2007. And my aunt, I kind of blame my aunt for that. You know, she got me into this death trap. Love her to death, but, you know, she was running for city council. You know, she would take me sometimes to council meetings. I got to know the mayor and other council members in my hometown. A lot of fun. Really got into it. Also, you know, the presidential election year in 2007 was big. It was huge. And I remember that very clearly. I remember getting really pissed when Obama won. And I remember getting pissed again in 2012. I remember getting really, really happy in 2016. But I've always really been in politics pretty much my entire life. My parents, they're political-ish, so it wasn't really them that got me into politics. It was pretty much my aunt. She really got me into politics. Can the right become tyrannical? So if you look at the political compass, not really. As soon as someone who claims to be right becomes tyrannical, they're no longer right anymore. They're on the left. Because the right believes in less government. The right believes in more freedom. The further right you go, you kind of go into anarchy, you know? Less government, smaller government, lesser spending. For example, a lot of people say that the Nazis were on the right. The right and the left in America is very different from the right and the left in Europe. So the right is the left in Europe, and the left is the right in Europe. And here's the left is the left, and the right. So it's a little different. So short answer is no, because it goes against the actual, I guess you can say, requirements of being on the right. But, yeah. Would you ever run for president? I mean, it's a little too early to ask, but, I mean, I guess. I don't know. When will we finally see you run for office? I already ran for office. I ran for office a while ago. I ran for mayor. But not anytime soon, I don't think. Oh, that's a good question. I like this. How can I get involved in politics as a 15-year-old? So, Turning Point USA is a great organization to get started. You're in high school. You can start a chapter in your high school. If you're homeschooled, which I totally support, you can probably join a local chapter in your area. You can go to their meetings and definitely go to as many conferences as possible. CPAC is coming up very shortly. Turning Point USA has a lot of conferences throughout the year. And it's just a fantastic organization. I've been involved with them for quite a while now, and they've given me a voice. They've given me so many opportunities to meet a lot of people and make great connections. And Turning Point, I have to say, I give them a lot of credit for where I am today. So I really do appreciate it. What are you doing? I'm doing the show right now. Great question, by the way. Yeah, great question. God. Stormtroopers or Imperials? Wait, what? I don't even... Is that Star Wars? Have you ever surfed in Israel? No, I've never surfed in general, but I would totally do it. My mom used to do that when she was a she lived in Puerto Rico. My mom was born and raised in Puerto Rico, if you didn't know. So she did that in Puerto Rico very often. And I've always wanted to go surfing, actually. I wouldn't mind that. I need some more political questions, guys. I mean, I like political questions. Something I can go on a tangent on, you know what I mean? Because I got a little bit of time here. Yeah, I got a little bit of time. We can talk more. Send me more in the chat or on the gram. So many spam ones on here. I'm trying to go through them. Oh, okay. Why do you think the UN is so biased towards Israel? I can go on a tangent about this, right? If you know anything about me, I can go on a tangent about Israel and the UN. So, very simple. Why is the UN so biased towards Israel, or why do I think it is? Very simple answer. You look at the resolutions that the UN has against Israel. The UN has over 20 resolutions against Israel for human rights violations and whatnot. But if we look at other countries that should have more resolutions, such as North Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Somalia, all these other countries, that they should probably have some resolution. I think Belarus as well. They have 1, 2, 3 of them. 5 maybe, for lucky. That's a bias, an absolute bias. And you look at the rights that Israel gives to the people who live there, and it's the most rights you've ever seen in the Middle East. They have rights for Arabs, they have rights for Christians, they have rights for Jews, they have rights for LGBT, they have rights for everyone. For Druze, for Bedouins, for Palestinians, they have rights for everyone. And they're all equal. For example, in the Knesset, you have an anti-Israel. You have an anti-Israel party in the Knesset right now. In the Knesset, and they're pro-Palestine. If that doesn't scream, equal rights for everyone, I don't know what does. Because here in America, that would be treason. If you had one can argue that the Democratic Party is explicitly anti-American, but you know what I mean. That would be treason here. Hi, Joe Bazraoui. Epstein didn't kill himself, correct. If a Dem got elected and said one amendment had to be repealed, which would you choose? Oh, man, I don't know. To be honest with you, I mean, that's a hard question. I'm going to get back to that next week. Hard question. Any quick takes on 2020 election impeachment recap? I already talked about that, Mason, but I think that impeachment was a joke, but it helped Trump a lot, and Trump's going to win next year. He's up in the polls tremendously. I mean, he's going to win. And I don't like polls that much, but you look at just the people. People are riling up for Trump right now. Do you think the right can be just as bad as the left in rhetoric? Depends. It depends on who it is and what the topic is, but I guess so sometimes. I mean, you have some pretty bad people on the right sometimes, but I don't know. Very, very good question. I kind of like that. Actually. I like those hard philosophical questions. So if you can send me more of those, I greatly appreciate it. How's the political climate in Arizona compared to PA? They're both swing states. Arizona, you have some really red areas, and you have some really blue areas, just like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, you have the whole map is red, and then you have these little tiny blue dots. Same thing with Arizona. The whole map is red, but you have these tiny blue dots. So same thing, swing state. We have a Republican governor. We have one Republican senator, one Democratic senator. So it's pretty the same, actually. It's pretty good, I guess. You rock and roll. Thank you. I appreciate that. Epstein was murdered. Yes, he was. Okay. We're going to do one more question. One more question, though, and then we'll go. Oh, I've gotten this question before. I like this question. What state would you like to visit? Alaska, by far. I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful place to go. And I like hiking. I like camping. So I think Alaska would be a good choice for that. All right, everyone. Please go ahead, subscribe, like, and share. Please share this. We're trying to break records here. Support my Patreon. And